water, you drink it, or you tie it on the person's door, or all kinds of foolishness, burn it, and all kinds of advices what to do to try to creating these charms, putting it in people's homes and this type of thing, right? So if you find yourself in some state of illness or whatever, you find yourself uneasy and you find in your home some charm, what do? You take apart this charm, destroy it, while reciting the quls. The second method which Prophet Muhammad ﷺ used was that of addressing the spirit which possessed the person. As I quoted before, he would call out to the spirit, saying, I am a slave of Allah, get out, O enemy of Allah. So the issue of addressing that spirit, instructing it to leave, is a part of the methodology of the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. Furthermore, the Prophet ﷺ also invoked curses on the possessing jinn or interfering jinn. He would hear, Prophet Muhammad ﷺ would say, A'udhu billahi mink, or Al-anak bila'anatillah. He would use these phrases, which is, may Allah curse you, I seek refuge in Allah from you, may Allah curse you. So this as part of the methodology for trying to expel the possessing spirit, one may call on Allah's curse on that possessing spirit. The third step is that of recitations. Recitations of Surah Al-Fatiha. This was done by the Sahaba. For example, Kharija ibn as-Salt had mentioned that on his return on a journey, he came across a man who was possessed and had been tied up in iron chains, and the family of the man had come to him and asked him if he had anything from Muhammad ﷺ to help treat such illnesses. So that companion recited Surah Al-Fatiha over him every morning and every evening for 3 days. And whenever he would finish the recitation, he would gather his saliva and spit off to the side, and the man eventually got well. So this, when he came back and informed Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, Prophet Muhammad ﷺ confirmed his use of Fatiha in this way. Now, this is a legitimate use of Fatiha outside of our prayer. There is another way what people tend to do. If we're going to have a gathering, before we start the gathering or at the end of each gathering, people will say Fatiha, and they go and they recite Fatiha. Actually, this is not from the Sunnah. We don't go and take Surah Al-Fatiha and start to use it for anything we want to use it for. We have it in the Quran, we read it when we read the Quran, we read it in our Salah. That's it. To use it for anything else, we must have authority from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You see, this issue of utilizing the deen, it has to be, even for cases where people are possessed, etc., it has to be with confirmation from Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. This whole issue of possession is not like an issue of physical illnesses, where when you're sick, you come to a doctor and the doctor will experiment on you. He thinks he has an idea of what your illness is, so he prescribes a medicine. If this medicine doesn't work, or the dosage is not high enough, he'll increase the dosage, or he'll prescribe another medicine. And he keeps prescribing until one finally works, right? Once that one works, then he will make a note of it, and this becomes a part of medical tradition, that whenever a person comes with this particular illness, you use that medicine for that illness. Now, treating those who are possessed is not in the same way. We cannot go there and start experimenting and doing whatever works. So you'll find, when you go into different parts of the Muslim world, people in dealing with possessed people, you'll find them doing all kinds of things. They're tying strings around people's fingers and around their toes. They will tie, knots in their hair. They will do all kinds of things. They tell you, okay, we're going to chase the jinn up your body, from your foot all the way up to your hair, and then it gets into your hair. We cut off the hair, we put it in a bottle, we set it on fire, we burn the jinn. I mean, these kinds of stories, these kinds of fables, people seem to get up and they feel they're well. I'm okay now. This thing works. But what is happening here is that, in medicine, whenever they're giving a drug trial, a new trial for a drug, they always do it with a control group. They take 10 people and they will give them this medicine. And then there will be 10 people who they will tell they're giving this medicine, but they're giving them sugar pills, right? They call it placebo, right? Why? Because what they're going to find is that of those 10 people who were given this medicine, which was in fact sugar pills, maybe 30% of them will get well.
they will get well. So if the actual medicine is only getting 40% well, and sugar pills are getting 30% well, they say this medicine is no good. If the medicine is working like 90%, and then you have a 30% for the placebo, you say, okay, you've got a good medicine here. What this is telling you is that if a person has confidence in their doctor, that confidence, that trust can help to cure that person. Similarly, when this exorcist, he tells you, okay, the jinn, we've chased it up to your hair, we've taken it out, we got your hair, we're going to burn him. The person is actually believing this thing, and in that case, where they're not actually possessed, where what they had was a psychological problem, or it may have been partially biological, then they cure themselves. So what we're dealing with here when we deal with the whole issue of exorcism is that we have a methodology of the Prophet ﷺ. This is deen here. The deen is not subject to experimentation. So we cannot experiment around and say whatever works now becomes, this is valid, I can use this. We have among the prescribed things Ayatul Kursi. The scholars of the past used it and found that it was very effective, based on the teachings of Prophet ﷺ in breaking spells which are on people. Among them the Basmala, Bismillah, using Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Prophet ﷺ had said that you should place your hand wherever you feel pain in your body. If you're feeling pain in your body, it may not be a biological thing, because a jinn that has partially possessed the person may cause pain, or they may feel something in their body. So when a person has this, they place their hand on their body, they say Bismillah 3 times, and they say A'udhu billahi wa qudratihi min sharri ma ajidhu wa uhabiru. And this means I seek refuge in Allah and its power from the evil that I find and the evil that I fear. It is, you say Bismillah 3 times, actually there's a whole bunch of them I'm going to be saying now. And then you say أعوذ بالله وقدرته من شر ما أجد وأحاضر. We also have the ta'awud, which is just in general, seeking refuge in Allah. As Allah tells us in the Quran, وَإِمَّا يَنزِغَنَّكَ مِنَ الشَّيْطَانِ نَزْغٌ فَاسْتَعِذْ بِاللَّهِ إِنَّهُ هُوَ السَّمِيعُ الْعَلِيمُ. And if Satan touches you, seek refuge in Allah, for verily he is the hearer and knower. So we have Aisha radiallahu anha saying that Prophet ﷺ, whenever any member of his household fell ill, they had pains, etc., Prophet ﷺ used to blow over them and recite the Mu'awwadatan. We also have the Adhan, reciting the Adhan. The companions of the time of the Prophet ﷺ had said that whenever the Adhan is recited, the evil jinn will flee. And when it's finished, they will come back and interfere with an individual in his prayer. We also have a variety of prophetic prayers, but unfortunately, time is running out further and further. I can just say that we can find in the bookstore the book which I wrote called The Exorcist Tradition in Islam. All of the prayers are listed there. Besides that, we also have medicines which Prophet ﷺ prescribed. He prescribed the ajwa dates, saying that the person who takes these dates in the morning, neither magic nor poison will hurt them. And also he prescribed what are known as truffles in English. It is called al-kam'a in Arabic, that its water, use of the water, is a cure from the ayn, the evil eye. He also prescribed that if a person had, caused an evil eye hurt to another person, he instructed the person who had caused it to take a bath, and they would take the water from that bath, to perform ablution, and he would take the water from the ablution, the water left over from the ablution, and the person who was affected by the evil eye would bathe with it. There's also the step, which is a very dangerous step, which you have to be very careful of, that the person who may be possessed may also be hit. But the hitting, has to be in a very controlled fashion. It cannot reach the kind of extremes that took place, for example, in England, about 4 years ago, where 2 peers in Manchester beat a young girl, 17-year-old girl, to death, and they're in jail currently now for killing her.